And on Saturday night, the triple header of Wild Card Weekend wraps up with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Washington football team. James Palmer kicking off hour 2 of our coverage. James?
Well, thanks, Rich. Tom Brady's favorite target, star wide receiver Mike Evans, has a hyperextended left knee. He is a game-time decision, but I'm told he is going to do everything in his power to play in this game. His teammate Chris Godwin told me this week, I would not want to be the person to tell Mike Evans he is not going to play in this playoff game. I'm told he lived in the training room. They tested it out on Thursday. They liked what they saw, and they're going to see if he can go. But if he's limited in any capacity or they hold him out, keep an eye on Antonio Brown, filling in for him. They have loved what he's done the last couple of weeks. They believe there still is a lot of talent at that wide receiver spot around Tom Brady.
The future unclear in the Patriots' career of Tom Brady. Intercepted by Logan Ryan. A pick six to end it.
Doesn't look like the face of a guy that's ready to retire.
Kings and queens may shape the thrones, but we're the ones that hold the key to shape our hopes and dreams.
All right, let's go, boys.
Gotta keep on flying.
That's like harder stuff for everything.
Leave the place in silence. Focus.
Hey, if we win this game, you're honored.
Fear. Use it. Pain. Gain it.
Stay just like that. Let's go.
Anything is possible. Everything for a reason. Now I'm feeling it.
You know what my favorite ring is? The next one.
That is TB12, who in his tenure in New England, you heard it all the time, that the Patriots and Brady and Belichick needed the bye week in order to make it to the Super Bowl, because whenever he didn't have it, as you could see on the screen, he never did make it to the Super Bowl. This is his first time on Wild Card Weekend, however, as just a mere wild card participant. They won the division every single one of those times and had a home game when he was there in New England. But I think, guys, as Kurt Warner is joining us from home here today in hour number 2 of NFL Game Day Morning, presented by Intuit TurboTax Live, that you see all those seasons, 4 of them, in which he did not make the Super Bowl. And then you just sit back and say, well, he still did make it 9 times anyway. I mean, look at that at the bottom of the screen. What does he need to do to reach his 10th Super Bowl? But we're asking that here because it's a new team, and obviously, and he's a 43-year-old man, and all those things that normally would give you an idea that it's not likely. But with this guy, it certainly is. Steve, what do you think?
Can you imagine 10 Super Bowl?
I mean,
that's crazy.
Yes, half of his career.
Yeah, you know, and he's with a new team and essentially a new offense and terminology, and the team threw the ball very well last year. Yeah. Right, with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, 1,000-yard guys, and they threw for 5,000 yards. But there was inconsistency with this offense. They were up and down, and they showed signs of greatness and signs of being new together. And then they went out and signed Gronk, and then they signed Antonio Brown. And it was just a matter of time before this team on offense would rhythm up and really become dangerous. And you know what, people? The last month, Tom Brady, with all of his weapons, is playing like the great Tom Brady. I mean, they're not inconsistent. They're just putting a dagger in everybody. And Kurt Warner, it looks like the GOAT is playing like the GOAT right now.
Yeah, I mean, we call him the GOAT in the National Football League, but you might say if Superman played in the NFL, it would look like Tom Brady. The guy just goes to Super Bowl and just finds ways to win. But what we know about Superman is even he has his kryptonite. And what we've seen with Tom Brady in recent years is that when you get pressure on him, when you get after him early, it changes the way that he plays. And that has been no different this year. When they've played teams that have been able to rush with 4 and get consistent pressure on Tom Brady, this team has struggled. Those are the games that they've lost. So somehow, some way, that offensive line has got to find a way to protect Tom Brady. Tom's got to find a way to play better when under pressure with these units. Hopefully, you know, they're more connected now. They're more put together, as you just talked about, Mooch. But they've got to find a way to handle pressure better because they're going to see some teams that can get after them a little bit here in the playoffs.
And you're right, Kurt, because they're going to play against New Orleans. They'll see New Orleans, Chicago Rams. Those are the teams that are in the playoffs right now, right? And those are the teams that they had issues with during the season. So he's going to have to, hey, one or two things. That line's going to have to shore up and make sure that what happened in the regular season with these teams don't happen. And Tom can also get that ball out of his hands quicker. That's how he used to beat people in New England. I know we've fallen in love with the no risk and no biscuit Tom Brady. But don't forget that old Tom Brady that just gets the ball out of his hand, wear down those defensive lines that help out that offensive line. And if Tom can do that, and by time you don't get to Tom, then you can see Tampa and playing the Super Bowl in their own home stadium. If they can just get through that cold in Green Bay.
Tonight, they just have to get past the Washington football team.
And Mike Evans, please, man, listen, stay home. Chill out. It's all right. They can take care of Washington without you. Now, next week, they will need you. But chill out, man. Don't risk nothing and hurt something worse.
Well, the Washington football team winning the NFC East, it's kind of fitting that the team known as the WFT won it, because if you transpose the last two letters of that in acronym, we've been saying that about their division all season long.
Rich.
Cowboys and Giants both needing a win today to keep their playoff chances alive.
Cowboys are being beat in all three phases today.
It's intercepted by the Giants and steals the deal for Big Blue.
The Giants need the Eagles to beat Washington tonight.
I'm a Philly fan today.
Posting things they never thought they'd say, like "Fly, Eagles, fly."
And he is in for the touchdown. Hurts is showing something. It is 17-14 Washington, and they have pulled Jalen Hurts here in the fourth quarter. You're entitled to your own opinions.
I don't care who you're trying to evaluate. The focus should be winning the football game.
Nate deserved an opportunity to get some snaps.
How dumb is that?
What is this, Rudy?
They thought that picking 6 overall was better than picking 9.
How embarrassing! Shame!
To disrespect the game, we will never do that.
The rivalries will grow in the NFC East.
Great speech. It was a long week in Philadelphia where Doug Peterson said that he put Nate Sudfeld in the end of the Sunday Night Football game 256 finale, turning it into preseason week 4 because he wanted to see what he had in Nate Sudfeld, and he deserved a chance to. And it was also, he said that what he thought gave his team the best chance to win. Howie Roseman, the general manager, said that throughout the entire week, that this was, again, not something that needs to be discussed that much more. It was just part of a plan. So what was wrong for Doug Peterson? Was it wrong for Doug Peterson to pull Jalen Hurts, Kurt Warner? What do you think?
I don't think it was. When I played in the NFL, it wasn't about just winning a game. It was about winning championships. And that was always the bottom line. And when you look at this situation with Philly, this game didn't matter in the big picture. You know, whether it was a decision made to get a better draft pick, I fully understand that. You know, if it was a decision made because, hey, this game doesn't matter and I want to get some other guys in that have been here all year long and going through all the protocols and deserve a chance to play, I have no problem with that. Not once did he say, hey, go in there and don't compete. Go in there between the lines and don't give 100%. Never once, when you watch it play out, I don't think he ever once said, oh, I'm going to just call a bunch of run plays and get out of here with the loss. He was still calling plays to win this game. But I have no problem whatsoever saying, hey, this year we don't have a chance to win a championship. I am here to win championships. What gives my team the best chance to win a championship next year? Because this year's over, I have no problem with the coach doing that, because I remember I would go through the season. If we were out of the playoffs by week 10, didn't mean I wouldn't play the last 6 games to win and compete. But I was just ready to say, okay, let's scrap this season. Let's start over next year because I want a chance to compete for the dance.
Yeah, a couple of things, Kurt. You're talking the end process. You want to ultimately win a championship. That's the end process. That's the end game. But we're talking here, the process to getting to that end game. And in the process to getting that end game of winning championships, you can't lose your players in the process, or you'll never get to the end game. Listen, I haven't heard anyone say that we had a team meeting. We had a team meeting. The only way I would have been okay with what I saw is if they have a team meeting where Coach said on Wednesday when they're putting the game plan, this is how we're going to handle this week. We're going to play guys. We're going to play guys that don't usually get an opportunity to play. Because I make a commitment to everybody on the football field every time I step on the football field to give everything I have to win a football game. I'm expecting everybody around me to make that same commitment. I'm expecting the people that are wearing the suits to understand the guys that are wearing the uniform have made that commitment to win football games. We're not even worried about draft picks or anything. That's what you have to do. So now, Doug Peterson putting these players, they were not okay with that. From what I've heard and what I've read, they were not okay with that. And so obviously he did not have that conversation with them. And if that's the case, that was not cool. That is not right. And you can lose a locker room doing that.
Okay. I have a little different perspective on that. First of all, the coach has the prerogative. When you're out of the playoffs like this, and forget about that win and lose from 6th pick to 9th pick. Not that big a difference. I'm just telling you it's not. Look at all these playoff quarterbacks. They were drafted, many of them were drafted way after that, okay? What I see was there was a kind of a, not a promise, but an instruction that Nate Sudfeld was going to get a chance to play in this game. Why? Because they're out of the playoff race. All right? Jason Kelsey said that after the game. Not right after the game because everybody was mad they lost. But the next day he says, yeah, we knew he was going to play. And Nate's a good guy. He's been here 4 years. And he kind of was going to throw him a bone and let him play a little bit. And the coach rested a lot of guys. They were a little bit hurt, but 10 starters were out of the game. So he has a prerogative to rest and to play guys. Now, watching that game, and it's a 3-point game, the coach also has the prerogative of making an audible. And if I promised him to play, and now it's a 3-point game in the 4th quarter, I probably would have said, hey, Nate, not so fast. You know what? Sorry, but let's finish this game with Jalen Hurts because it will benefit him to play this, try to win it, because he's probably going to be our starter next year.
No doubt, Steve. I mean, and you know, just from a fan perspective, if I can have a moment, and when I say fan, obviously folks know that everybody here gave me an emotional support dog that I named Trevor.
Change the name.
Right. You wanted to call it Chump, and then Trevor, and then I changed it to Justin. Is it tampering to rename him Deshaun? But it is one of those. It is one of those things where, as a fan, you sit around watching all day, and you see the AFC South on the line, and the Cardinals fighting for their playoff lives, and the Rams and the Bears. And you see that all day, and you sit there and you watch the Cowboys and Giants, and as a fan, you invest the time to say, the winner of this game has a shot to win the division. And I understand if you don't want to leave it up to Nate Sudfeld, don't lose 10 games. I get all of that. But it was very difficult as a fan to be sitting there all day, and certainly as a